so in this video what we want to do is show you how easily you can exchange the light head modules with our LED sticks. Now, having the ability to interchange the modules will not only save you money, so if you go with one particular color and you have to switch over for a different color, you don't necessarily have to buy a whole new stick with us. Also, if your local state or local laws change, this gives you the ability to change out colors. But not only that, it also gives you the freedom just to maybe add a fresh new look to your vehicle. So to kind of give you an example, what we have is we have an LED stick here. It's the Quad T4 in the color of all red, and what we want to do is show you how you can interchange the red over to a white. It also gives you the ability that if you go with one particular color, maybe say for example you go with what we'll do is we'll change this one over to a red white. Maybe you get it in that red white combination, but then you decide, you know what, you want to have two reds and two whites. This video will pretty much show you exactly how you can do that. So to start out, what you want to do is take a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, and what we're going to do is remove the 2 screws of the end cap that the cabling goes in. Once we have the 2 Phillips screws removed, we'll just slide the side cap out. Now, once we're disassembling the LED stick, one of the things you want to keep in mind is not to just snatch on the cable. What we want to do is start on one side of the stick and just start to slide the very far end module, just to start to slide it out. And as you're sliding it out, you will want to just slightly pull on the cable just a little bit. And as I'm pushing the modules and pulling the cable, the whole guts of the inside of the bars start to come out. Alright, so with everything removed, we have the modules and we have the internal flasher. Each module is connected to the flasher by a male-female pigtail. What we'll do is we'll just pull them apart to disconnect. With the modules disconnected, if you're changing over to a dual color, it may be a good idea for you to, if you want to, is to take something like a black Sharpie and actually write on the back of the light heads what color it is, red, white, or whatnot, so you don't necessarily get the colors mixed up. But once we have the modules removed, what we're going to be doing again, the stick was originally all red, and we're going to switch it over to red white. Now, with everything removed, take the housing, and on the LED flasher you have tabs that are on the bottom of both sides of the flasher. What we want to do is we want to insert these tabs into the 2 notches that are inside the casing on the LED stick. Now, when you're inserting the flasher, again, one of the things you'll want to make sure you do is not to pull any wires from the internal part of the flasher. So what you'll want to do is just pretty much lift all the wires up, and then go ahead and slide the flasher inside the unit. Alright. Then what we'll do is, as we're sliding the flasher in, we'll also insert the white male-female connector inside. We'll take our side end cap and we'll go ahead and reassemble it back to the bar. With the flasher inserted back into the aluminum housing, and with the 2 Phillips screws locked back into the side end cap, now one of the important things is making sure that you get your wire combinations correct. Like we give the example on the website: module 1, module 2, module 3, and module 4. What you'll want to do is make sure that you correctly identify which wire is going to connect to the appropriate module 1, 2, 3, or 4. The best way to do it is to simply just look down inside the flasher. The way to work on the flasher is it's either end that you go, whether it be the right or left, which one you want to call module 1, is really up to you. Generally what we do is module 1 typically will start on the side that's furthest away from the cabling. So what we'll do is the wire furthest from the cable would be module 1, and then as we follow the wires across, looking down inside the flasher, we've got module 2, module 3, module 4. You can kind of see how each wire is broken up down inside the flasher. When you are trying to do this with your longer sticks, such as your the Blaster 6 or the Phaser 8 stick, is generally where you want to pay most attention to it. The worst case scenario is that if you do get the modules mixed up, what'll end up happening, it'll throw off your flash pattern, and we'll be able to show you how you'll know exactly whether or not your patterns are off. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll start with module 1, and again, this is whatever color you decide to start with, whichever one. What we'll do is we'll convert this one over to a red white color combination. So what we'll do is we'll start with we'll start with our white first. Now the wiring on the different modules is going to vary in size. Typically it's going to end up being longer than what you really need, which is fine. No reason to cut the wire unless you just absolutely want to. There's plenty of room down inside the aluminum housing that you can actually tuck the wire down in. So what we'll do is another good thing to do is to, if you have a available 12-volt source available, such as a 12-volt power supply where you can actually plug into, that's great too. If not, you can conveniently do it while you're sitting in the car or whatnot. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and actually apply power to the LED stick. And what this will do is make sure that we make the proper connections before we get everything back together. Now each module, again, when we disconnect, is a male-female pigtail. And there's really only one way that the modules can get inserted, the male-female pigtails can actually get inserted back. So what we'll do is make the proper connection. And then what we'll do is, again, since our wire is much longer than what we need, we're just going to go through we're just going to tuck the wire down inside the aluminum housing. Alright, now when placing the modules back down inside the LED stick, about the easiest way to do this is to just take one side of the module and actually press it down inside the housing. Now, one of the things you'll want to make sure is that the wire does not get caught up on the side channel. You'll want to make sure that the wire is actually down inside the housing. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of push it down inside the casing, and then with one end down inside, again making sure that the wire is not going to end up getting caught up on the side post here. What we'll do is we'll just pop it into place, slide it across, your black spacers, generally we use that as the last step, and we'll show you why. It gives you a little bit more ability to adjust modules as you need to. Alright, so now we'll go with our red one. And again, it's making sure that we're using the second wire for module 2. Alright. Tuck our wire back inside the housing. Alright. And again, we'll just take one side, just push it down inside the housing. And then with the opposite end, same thing, we'll just pop it into place. Go with our next module, which will be our white one. Tucking the wires in. Take one side, push it down into the housing. The opposite side, we'll just pop it into place. And we have our last module. We'll again tuck the wire in. We'll insert one side, pop it into place, the opposite end, pop it in. There we go. Let's make sure everything works like it should. I'm going to turn the unit on. And we'll just cycle through the flash pattern. Cycle through the flash pattern just to make sure we got it right. Looks good. Alright, so now what we'll do is we will insert our spacers. We'll start on farthest end, whichever side. We're going to push our module all the way towards one direction. going to take our spacer, and we're also going to insert it back into the housing just like we did the modules. We're going to snap in one end, and then we'll snap in the other end. One end. Alright, and when it comes to the last spacer, generally you want this to be a snug fit. If you've noticed that even that it's fairly easy to put this last spacer in, you may want to make sure that your side end cap is tightened all the way. If it's this last black spacer goes in fairly easy, you may want to check that. But what you want to do is just kind of space them out just a little bit more. And we'll insert it the same way. We don't have any movement on the modules. This is exactly what we want. Again, we'll power it back up just to make sure everything's good. There we go. And that is how you exchange the module light heads. Again, you can start to do them in any color combination. You want to go a little crazy, throw some amber in there, maybe do them on the sides. But again, the good thing with this is it gives you an idea of how you can start to swap out modules. So if your agency decides to you know, from this point forward, that maybe you can only run a certain solid color in the front, and you can do dual colors in the rear, or vice versa. If you have any questions, just give us a call or shoot us an email.